Hey guys, so as more and more election results are coming in, it's getting safer and safer that this electoral map is probably what we're going to see. 306 electoral votes for Joe Biden, and then the state of North Carolina currently is too early to call, while Donald Trump is expected to win right now 217 electoral votes. He does lead by 1.4% in the state of North Carolina. However, there are still 5% of the votes remaining, and those votes are mail-in ballots. So if they're anything like the mail-in ballots in these other states, Joe Biden definitely can take the lead in the state of North Carolina. Those larger cities in this state are still waiting to report more results. We have 5% from Raleigh. We have Greensboro is almost done. From Fayetteville, we still have 9% from Fayetteville. Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, we still have 5%. So these numbers aren't the best for Joe Biden. He was leading here on election night, as many of the early ballots were counted before the election day ballots were in. However, right now, the state of North Carolina, 98% of the results are in. Joe Biden is not looking too great here, but he still has a little bit of a chance in North Carolina. He can definitely close up the gap and make it less than 1%. So right now, Joe Biden is expected to flip the states of Wisconsin, where he is the apparent winner, the state of Michigan, where he is the projected winner. There is not going to be a recount in Michigan unless Donald Trump can actually provide any sort of concrete evidence as to voter fraud there. That's the only way to get a recount in Michigan, Wisconsin. Since the margin is less than 1%, Donald Trump can and has already requested a recount in the state of Wisconsin. Currently, the state of Wisconsin is a margin of just 0.6% for Joe Biden, with basically every single ballot having already been counted. Joe Biden did pretty well here in the state of Wisconsin compared to 2016. The state of Michigan, Joe Biden did even better. He is expected to win this state right now by a margin of 2.6%. You saw that Joe Biden increased off of Clinton's margins in Flint, that's Genesee County. He also flipped Saginaw County. He did very, very well in Detroit, where Wayne County is. Oakland County, Joe Biden also had a pretty strong showing. He flipped Kent County, which is where Grand Rapids was, a county that Donald Trump carried by 3% in 2016, is now a Biden county. So that was a major flip in favor of the former vice president. He really did have more support in this Rust Belt area. He spent a lot more time there, unlike Hillary Clinton, who really did neglect these states. I mean, last time she just went way too far. She tried winning states that were really not too likely to actually go to her. So Biden definitely did not make the same mistake as Hillary Clinton 4 years ago, and currently he is on track to winning this election. He's probably going to win the popular vote by over 3%. He is currently leading in terms of the popular vote by over 4 million votes, but Donald Trump has surpassed 70 million votes, making him winning the second most votes of any candidate in American history, with the first being, of course, Joe Biden. He has crossed Barack Obama's 2008 numbers in terms of sheer popular vote. So the electoral map right now, Pennsylvania, I do expect to definitely go to Joe Biden. We've seen that as more results are coming in, Joe Biden's lead here is increasing. He was down 16 points on election night, and people are saying that Joe Biden's chances at the presidency are just done, but that was just never true. Joe Biden had just so many mail-in ballots. It was basically split 5-1 in favor of the former vice president on election in terms of the mail-in ballots that have been counted pretty recently on election night. It was not looking good. Joe Biden has since then flipped Erie County. This is the bellwether county, a county that Hillary Clinton, of course, lost in 2016. Donald Trump visited this county at the very end of his campaign. That's where he said that he doesn't even want to be there. So didn't get too much support from that rally there in Erie County. However, Joe Biden has flipped this county. He's leading by less than 2,000 votes there, but almost all the votes are in. We still have results from Pittsburgh. That's the big thing there. That is expected to boost Joe Biden's margin in the state of Pennsylvania even more. He currently leads by a margin of 0.3%. That's less than 20,000 votes here. Philadelphia County, as you can see, is almost all done. We still have 4% left. Montgomery has been done. Bucks County is finished as well now. Delaware County is also finished, along with Chester County. So really, there are no significant counties remaining except for Pittsburgh. So we'll see how the results there turn out. But these three states, they were part of the blue wall that has brought Democrats victory in so many elections. It gave Barack Obama his victories in 2008 and 2012, and has pretty much been pretty strong for the Democratic Party in the past almost 3 decades, with the exception of 2016, where Donald Trump was able to very, very narrowly flip these three states, all by less than 1%. Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania gave Donald Trump the election victory. Without these three states, Hillary Clinton would have been the president right now. So these states are all expected to flip back. There may be a recount in Wisconsin, but do not worry about that. Joe Biden leads by over 20,000 votes. I mean, do you know how many votes actually get changed? I mean, it's a sway of a couple hundred votes, basically always. There's really never been any significant change over 1,000 votes. So he can request a recount all he wants, but he's not going to receive any sort of significant boost or any chance at actually winning the state of Wisconsin, right? And the chances for Joe Biden in Wisconsin, they are pretty low right now. It's been sitting at around 96 cents on predicted in terms of betting. So I'm taking the betting odds just because this shows how people feel these races are going to end up. The state of Michigan, same thing, same numbers as Wisconsin on the betting odds, but Michigan is a much stronger state right now for Joe Biden than the state of Wisconsin. There's probably not going to be a recount here unless Donald Trump can again actually provide concrete evidence for voter fraud, but he really has on all of his lawsuits. They are not good claims. They are really not going to help him too much, in my opinion. And if you've been watching news, that's what they've been saying. Donald Trump is suing, but is really going to win those cases? He can win them, but are those cases really going to have a positive effect on them? No. I mean, you saw that yesterday in Pennsylvania. He won a case. He called it a victory, but really, it's just allowing those Trump supporters, I guess, to view the counting better, but they can't go in and say that people are cheating because they just can't do that. So Pennsylvania, Trump might have won his case, but that doesn't really benefit him in any way. Donald Trump is down by less than 20,000 votes, but Joe Biden's numbers again are expected to increase here in the state of Pennsylvania. Right now, the betting odds have Joe Biden up at 95 cents per share in this state. So Joe Biden is definitely on track to flipping the state of Pennsylvania, which would give Joe Biden the election with just these three Rust Belt states. The state of Nevada right now, the margins are increasing as more votes come in from Clark County in Nevada. This is not a flip, but this is definitely a state that people have been watching. This is the only Clinton state that has been vulnerable this entire election to Joe Biden. I mean, Minnesota, Wisconsin, we've seen huge improvements. New Hampshire as well. Those are really the close states. Colorado, as well as the state of New Mexico, they are over 10% margins now. These states were all pretty close in 2016. Nevada was 2.4%. Now it seems as if this state has actually moved to the right. However, still, it is still a pretty strong victory. 30,000 was a little bit less than that, a little bit less than a little bit over 20,000 votes. Sorry about that. But Nevada right now, Biden leads by 0.8%. The state of Arizona with 94% of the results in. I'm confident in a Biden victory here. It was called by the Associated Press as well as Fox News very, very early on election night, probably too early. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, they have not called the state of Arizona yet, nor has the New York Times. However, Donald Trump is winning more of the ballots have been lately counted. So the latest ballots, they are breaking for Donald Trump. Joe Biden is only up by 1.1% as of right now. It's been shrinking since basically the first results came in. However, Biden needs around 65 to 70% of the remaining votes to actually flip the state of Arizona or have a good chance at doing so. He is not on track to do that. He is winning, percentage of the votes in the low 50s with Joe Biden in the high to mid 40s. So it's not enough right now for Donald Trump. Maricopa is not, doing as well for Donald Trump as he would like to have. Yuma County actually increased votes for Joe Biden with these new ballots. Piedmont County, we saw 5%. That's a pretty heavily Democratic area. However, this flip in Maricopa is probably going to give Joe Biden the victory in the state of Arizona. As you can see right now, Joe Biden has an 87% chance. It's fallen a little bit since 8 hours ago. That's when, it was reported that Donald Trump was not on track to winning. It's gone down a little bit, but we'll see. It's probably going to stay up there for quite a while unless something really big does happen. Now, this is probably the biggest flip for Joe Biden, the state of Georgia. And with Georgia, I think that we can definitely see North Carolina probably do much, much better for Joe Biden just because Georgia has, broken so great for Joe Biden. I mean, this is to say that Stacey Abrams came within 2% of Joe Biden. He was down by around 2% for most of the day yesterday, going up into 1%. However, now Joe Biden has taken the lead in the state of Georgia. He leads right now by more than 4,000 votes. It's a margin of just 0.1%. There's still a very, very small number of absentee ballots. We see Chatham County, where Savannah is located. That was all done. That was a pretty notable, outstanding county in Georgia, which didn't have too many of its votes in yesterday. We have basically all of the Atlanta counties. They have almost basically all finished. We saw that Clayton County gave Joe Biden the votes that he needed to win. And with this, we have two runoffs in the Georgia Senate elections between David Perdue and Jon Ossoff, as well as Kelly Loeffler and Raphael Warnock. So I think that with a Biden victory here, it really might inspire more Democrats to come out in these runoff elections, in which turnout for Democrats are typically lower than they are for Republicans. So the state of Georgia right now, Joe Biden leads by 0.1%. With more votes coming in, the numbers are actually increasing. These military ballots, although they typically would split better for Donald Trump or the Republican, in this case, they are not. The military ballots are actually favoring Joe Biden over Donald Trump. So we'll see. But right now, in the state of Georgia, Joe Biden has a very clear pathway to victory. He has a 90% chance of winning 9 in 10, so that's pretty strong. If we take a look at the 7-day graph, Trump, after election, had a 92% chance of winning. It has since fallen, so much for the current president. It's continued to fall today. And the state of Pennsylvania, we probably won't have results there for quite a while from this state, just because of those lawsuits. And they're going to be splitting off the results or the ballots that come in, the mail-in ballots that come in after the 3rd of November, and they will not be reported until those lawsuits are resolved. So we're probably not going to see too much of an increase in votes from Pennsylvania. However, Joe Biden right now basically has the state in the bag. I don't want to say 100%, but I'm 99.9% confident that Joe Biden is going to flip Pennsylvania. That would give Joe Biden the victory. Obviously, Arizona, Joe Biden has a very, very good chance of flipping the state. It has already been called, and Fox News, AP, they really don't make mistakes. I mean, the last time they really made a significant mistake was in 2000 with Florida, but that's when everybody basically did. So right now, the electoral map is looking very, very favorable towards Joe Biden. He has made some pretty historic flips, flipping the states of Arizona and Georgia. And to just explain why these flips are so important, Arizona was a solid stronghold for the Republican Party. It has not gone to a Democrat twice, since 1948. I mean, it went to Herbert Hoover in 28. Roosevelt won this state all 4 times, as well as Harry Truman, his successor, in the 1948 election. I mean, that was after the Second World War, and since then, only one Democrat has ever carried the state of Arizona, and that was Bill Clinton in 1996, not 92, just 1996. He won this state by 2.2%. After that, it has gone to a Republican ever since. I mean, George W. Bush won this state by 10.5% in 2004 against John Kerry. Obama won, 45.1% of the vote here, and then 2012, 44.6%. So in 2012 and 2008, the margins basically stayed the same. It got a little bit closer because Trump's numbers went down significantly for the Republican in 2016. However, in 2020, it is currently expected to go to the former vice president. That would be a historic flip. I mean, it's basically red all over the place except for 1996. Taking a look at the state of Georgia, we see a pretty similar thing here. So, of course, a longer voting history. It went to Bill Clinton in 1992, so this state hasn't gone to a Democrat in almost 3 decades. And then 1976 and 1980, that was Jimmy Carter. He won this state twice. That was because he was from the state of Georgia, so he's pretty popular there. So really not too much of a surprise. And this was before Georgia moved to the right even more after the Civil Rights Act was signed in 1963. I think so. When Johnson ran against Goldwater, although he trounced Goldwater, he lost the South in 1964. And this 1992, Clinton was able to very, very narrowly beat George H.W. Bush in this state. And the state of Georgia, Bill Clinton was also a Southerner from the state of Arkansas. So Joe Biden would be the first non-Southerner to win the state of Georgia in basically 8 decades. I mean, that is a big deal. So Joe Biden definitely flipping the state. I mean, I expected Georgia to flip somewhere in the near future, as well as Arizona, with Kirsten Sinema and Mark Kelly now being the 2 senators from the state of Arizona. So that's a pretty big deal. State of Georgia also was going to flip sometime soon. It has been trending to the left. However, 2020, I really didn't think was going to be it, just because Stacey Abrams lost the state 2 years ago, mainly due to voter suppression. I thought that, it could occur again in 2020, but it looks as if Joe Biden is on track to winning the state of Georgia, flipping the states of Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, as well as the state of Georgia, giving him at least 306 electoral votes. If he wins the state of North Carolina, which he is not too likely to, but still definitely can, because we don't know how many mail-in ballots are going to come in. 321 electoral votes, that would be a pretty strong victory. However, I'm not going to give Joe Biden the state of North Carolina anytime soon. So the results have really basically slowed to a crawl in these states as, lawsuits are pending. So, and do not expect a call from Georgia anytime soon. The margin is just really close. So just wait on Georgia. It's probably going to go to Joe Biden in the end anyways. Arizona, I think, will have a call pretty soon once all the results are in. It's already been called by many news networks. So we'll see. Make sure you join my Discord server if you have not. The link is at the very top of the description below. We're updating you guys on the election much more frequently over there. So make sure you go on my Discord if you have not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see all of you guys in the next video.